Going back to the Godzilla in that original movie, um, 65, whatever year it came out, I can't
Right,
remember. I guess you could always just assume that Godzilla was represented the bomb at the time.
right.
And then you have the Raymond Burr character, who's the American character in it. And he, at the end, he gives a speech. He almost seems sympathetic towards Godzilla. Was that them saying how, even though the Americans used this horrible bomb, they still kind of enjoyed it and were sympathetic for the bomb, and they wanted to, like we're going to use it again, and it's the greatest thing? Or is that what
Was
that character meant in that movie?
Well, I think that probably the first thing we have to remember is that that version was prepared for American audiences.
Right, right.
Uh, I don't know if Raymond Burr's stuff was meant to suggest that he was pleased with Godzilla or hopeful that we'd have another atomic bomb. Is there a specific line that you're thinking of, or
I
does he
can't
say something
remember
about?
exactly, but I just remember the character being kind of sympathetic towards Godzilla
Mm,
more than he was, I guess, than the people of Japan. To me, it just felt like if you're going to put an American in this movie, then you got to make them this sort of
yeah,
warmonger type character.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've watched either
Yeah,
version, but my recollection was that the Americanized version sort of tried to avoid directly discussing the bomb because I guess they recognize that that's a kind of a touchy issue for Japanese. I thought that the way they crafted it to make it look like Raymond Burr was actually there was fairly well done.
yeah,
Uh, but um, with the original Japanese version, there is some stuff in it that does seem rather critical of the bombing. Maybe that stuff was taken out for the American version. But I don't know if I don't recall anything in his voiceover that was suggestive of somebody who was pro destruction of Japan.
right.
Uh, Besides the fact that Godzilla was doing it all by himself, or you felt that he was almost seemed like a cheerleader for Godzilla.
Yeah, no, not really I wouldn't say he was uh happy that Japan got destroyed, just more look at this great weapon that we've created. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
That
more proud of that than they were,
as a
you know,
result
all the
of
people dying. Yeah.
the atomic bomb, we created this extraordinary creature.
Yeah.
Well, well, the first version actually was one that uh, tugs on the heartstrings a little bit as well. That has some emotional power to it, especially the scenes of. I remember there's one sequence where the children's choir is singing in a church after the first Godzilla attack.
Yeah.
Music is beautiful for it. The music for the first film was a terrific score. So it had that sort of emotional power, and uh, the American version, if I understand correctly, was released. It was a bit, the Japanese version was a big hit in Japan, and then it was picked up for release in the United States. And whatever company picked it up decided to shoot those additional scenes with Raymond Burr, possibly because when they took out the stuff that they thought might be objectionable, they had a movie that was too short.
Too short. Yeah.
So, so they shot the Americanized version, and when eventually that was released in Japan, and it was a success again. So it was a success in Japan in both versions. So apparently the Japanese didn't take the average Japanese person or theater film goer didn't take offense to either version,
Right. Yeah.
which I guess is a good thing. But Godzilla certainly has always been sort of symbolic of the atomic bomb, and I'm glad that this brings us back to that. I think that this is Godzilla minus one is uh, touching on exactly the right things because you can't lose the potency of that connection.
Right.
It shouldn't be a silly character like you saw in the rest of the series with,
Yeah.
almost like a cartoon character. I mean, in a way, you could say that for children's entertainment, and I watched those things all the time when I was